In this video, we'll have a look at how we assign user roles to our staff members and also have a look at how we control what they see in the toolbar. To get to the user roles and toolbar, from the home screen, we go into System Maintenance and then into Security. If we are the system administrator, when we click on Security, we will see this screen. On the left-hand side, we have the users that we have set up in the system. And next to this, we see the user roles labelled Level 1 to System Administrator. When we want to change these user roles, we click on the User Roles toolbar function at the top of the screen here. We then see this screen. Here we can change the names of our user roles, and we might want to change Level 1 to be something more meaningful, such as Reception. So we type Reception in the group name, and then exit the screen to refresh. We click on Security again, and now we can see that we have Reception as our user role for Level 1 access in the system. If we go back into User Roles toolbars, we can set the security levels for each of our user roles from this screen. We can give read-only access from this screen, and we can see that we have given our Group 1, Reception, read-only access. And here we can tick which items on the toolbar they'll be able to have access to. So these toolbars will be enabled if you tick the shortcut against the toolbar. Because we have selected our Group 1 as read-only access to toolbars, I will now log in as user Anna, who is in Group 1 Reception, and we'll see what this looks like. Now we log in as Anna, and if we click on the Client Quick Link in the toolbar, and we try and change any fields, we're not able to do so. And when we click on Add Maintenance Task, which we didn't have ticked in the previous screen, we see this message: you do not have permission to run this function. We will now log back in as the System Administrator and have a look at the Control Panel function in System Maintenance. So from the home screen, we go into System Maintenance and into Security. The Control Panel is where you can specify which options in the menus that users can access. Each of the roles that we spoke about before on the User Roles screen, Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, and so on, represent columns in the Control Panel screen. So Level 1 is Reception, Level 2 is Level 2, Level 3 is Level 3, etc. These rows here represent options in the menus. If you look down here, the 9 options here you will recognise from our main menu. That's Clients, Tenancies, Waiting List, Property, Property Maintenance, Finance, Reports and Exports, Audit, System Maintenance, and Quit to Windows. To stop anyone from accessing these, we can untick the boxes here. For example, if we didn't want Reception to have access to Properties and Property Maintenance, we would untick the Properties and Property Maintenance boxes here, and they will not be able to access these menu items now. So let's have a look at this by logging back into Shintaro as user Anna. When we log in as our receptionist Anna, we see that the Properties and Property Maintenance options on the main menu are greyed out, and if we try and click on these options, nothing happens. Let's now log back in as the System Administrator and we'll have a look at the Control Panel function in more detail. So we go back into System Maintenance, into Security, and Control Panel. Each of these menus points to another menu, so where it says Clients here, in the Form column, this says 2, and if we look down here in the Menu column, we can see the number 2 in this column, and these are all the options in the Clients menu. Again, you could stop reception from sending client emails, client SMSs, or client letters by unticking the boxes here. Each of these menus are grouped by the numbers, and you will recognize which menu it's from the options here, and you can tick or untick the boxes in these columns to allocate who has permission to those screens. If we have a look at the maintenance function, this is where we allow users permission to maintain reference tables. This form is used if you would like your staff to access only some reference tables, but not all. Down here is the list of all the reference tables, and you can specify which groups have access to them. If we have a look at report groups, this is where we can allow access to different report groups. When we go into the Reports or Exports screen, we see the 5 categories of reports: Finance, Property and Maintenance, Client, Waiting List, and Tenancies. This form is where you allow access to these reports, and if you untick the category column, users won't see anything on that screen. If you want to restrict access to these categories, we untick the boxes here. If these are not ticked, the users under that particular role will not see that category in the report list. Similarly, in reports, we can further specify which reports users have access to from this function. We could go through each report and untick those boxes for the user roles that we don't want to have access to certain reports. If you have sensitive information that you don't want everyone in your organisation to access, you can untick the group here to restrict the user's access, and they won't be able to see those reports.